Hi guys, Stephen, James Glen Car Sales, and today we're talking about BMW M2s, specifically this lovely 2019 Long Beach Blue M2 competition. But first, before we start looking around the car, how hard is it becoming to get a good, low owner, low mileage, unmodified M2 or M2 competition? We price lots through wewon'tbuyanycar.com, our own in-house car buying service, but unfortunately we have to say no to so many because they're either multiple owners, modified, or they've got patchy history, or they're too many miles. So I am delighted to say that we've got a lovely, clean, 3-owner, 33,000 mile, unmodified M2 competition to show you around today. So without further ado, let's get a look around. I know colour is subjective, but I think Long Beach Blue is quite possibly the best colour for an M2. Black is nice, but it shows up too many marks. White, you tend to lose all the bumps and lumps in the flared arches. Grey is just a little bit too subtle. I think the blue really just does hit the mark. So as we wander around, I'll tell you a little bit about James Glen Car Sales. We have been in business since 1982. As I mentioned earlier, we don't buy anything from any of the trade outlets, whether that be online auction or any auction houses. Everything in here is either generated by a part exchange or through wewon'tbuyanycar.com, and when we say we won't buy anycar.com, we really do mean that. But unfortunately we have to say no to about 60 to 70% of the cars offered, because what we find is the better we do that part of the job, the easier the rest of the job becomes, because when you've got the right stock, everything else just falls into place. And that is certainly the case with this gorgeous 2019 M2 competition. So now we've had a wee wander around just to let you guys take in the overall appearance, move in a little bit closer and let you see just what the car's condition is like under a bit closer scrutiny. So as you can see under the garage lights, there is absolutely no swirl. All the paintwork is detailed to perfection. I have to say that this car did come in a very good condition. In fact, if you head over to our TikTok page, James Glen Cars, you will see a video on there the day this car arrived. We were actually getting nice comments from followers saying that our guys done a really good job of detailing it. In actual fact, that's how it arrived. So once we move down a bit closer to the bumper, there's a couple of very minor chips which are unavoidable. So we've got a couple here. I mean, the front of these bumpers, if you look at them, they're practically vertical, so it's unavoidable that we're going to get a little bit of road rash just down towards the front outward facing section of the bumper. Got a couple here as well, but I have to say these M2s are notoriously bad for picking up road rash, and this is one of the cleanest that we have seen. Moving on to the near side, usual procedure, we'll have a good look at the reflection of the light coming in through the glass here, just picking up all the contours of the bodywork. There is absolutely no parking dents or scratches to report. Front near side alloy wheel, we've got a Michelin Pilot Sport there, and we've also got an alloy wheel with no damage. Huge big brake discs in the back there, which they are a bit discoloured, but that is due to the alloy wheel cleaner that was used. But just before we started with the prep, one thing that's worth noticing as well, guys, is the Brembo brake caliper is still bright blue, and that the M logo hasn't discoloured. If a car has seen particularly heavy use on the brakes, that's the first telltale sign. The calipers can actually go green and the M logo discolours altogether. So if they're all nice and bright, it'll be an indication that the car's had a fairly easy life. So looking down the passenger side from the rear, again picking up the reflections of the office and the bodywork, and we can see that the paintwork is in excellent order and the bodywork is free from any dents. Near side rear alloy wheel, free of damage. And again, if you look in at the brake caliper there, we can see that that is also nice and bright blue, as per the silver font on the M emblem as well. Disc in the back there, all fine, just discoloured from the alloy wheel cleaner. Moving on to the passenger side of the cabin, the competition benefits from having the seats from the M3, M4, which gives it the illuminated M logos on the backrest, and you've got nice blue stitching there, as well as the blue perforated centres on the seats. a fair upgrade over the OG. But all the fit and finish, all the touch points and everything are all still nice and matte. It's a really, really clean car with nothing to report as far as any damage or any wear and tear is concerned. Factory overmats, as well as your electric seats with lumbar adjustment. It's also memory on the driver's side. So moving on round to the rear of the car, we can have just a look to see how the back of the car looks. Really, really purposeful stance. And as I mentioned earlier, we've got the aftermarket carbon fibre boot spoiler. Have a wee look in the boot. So you've got your luggage nets there, extended storage, not under there, in fact that's where your battery is. But it does have folding rear seats, which does give the car another level of practicality. Not a particularly expensive option, but really, really handy. Parking sensors in the back there as well, which is all standard. And moving on to the offside, again we'll take in the reflection of the wall in the bodywork, and delighted to report there is no scratches or parking dents to report. Offside rear wheel, free from damage, wearing another Michelin Pilot Sport tyre. Brake disc, good shape, along with the brake caliper as well. And finally, from the front to the back, on the offside, just picking up the reflection of that rather sexy looking trophy R in the background. Yeah, bodywork is in absolute A1 condition. And the final alloy wheel, you can see, is free from any damage. Another matching Michelin Super Sport, giving us a matching set of premium brand Michelin tyres, and the brake caliper all free from any discolour or any excessive heat that has baked the blue powder coat green. Only seen it in a few cars, but it did make me think that they've led a rather exciting life. So moving on to the inside door car, we'll look at the usual touch points. Just make sure that there's no damage, no scratches or anything from jewellery, and the entry plates all free from any scuffs. Backrest, even the outer bolster is perfect. Base, absolutely fine. We'll just compare that with the passenger side. And as I mentioned earlier, we've got two-stage memory on the driver's side. So we'll hop in, get the car started, confirm the current mileage, and just demonstrate the car starts with no warning lights. Really nice place to be, and the seats do lift the standard cabin considerably over the normal M2, the OG as they say. Perfect steering wheel, lovely size, lovely diameter, and we've got no wear anywhere round the outer circumference of the wheel either. We'll give the car a quick rev, just keep it to under 3000 RPM because the car is cold. That is the car in efficient mode, and if we put it into Sport Plus, you can hear that the exhaust is a bit more pronounced. Unfortunately, it's an OPF car, so it's not as loud as the old ones, but there's still a fairly substantial lifting sound when we put the car into Sport Plus. So we'll have a look at the service history now, which is in the car's iDrive. So my vehicle. And we'll go down to settings. Oh, sorry guys. Vehicle status, I should say. And service history. So we've got 19, 21, 22, 23. Last serviced at 18,049 miles. was an engine oil, vehicle check, microfilter, air filter element and spark plugs. So the next service will be a brake fluid change, which we will have done prior to sale. Engine oil not due for another 13,000 miles or July 2025. And current mileage 22,816. So now we'll pop the bonnet, have a look under the engine bay, or at the engine bay I should say, under the bonnet. So the first thing we notice is the big carbon strut brace, which the normal M2 doesn't have, and obviously the twin turbo straight 6 engine lifted from the BMW M3 and M4, which produces in the M2 400 brake horsepower. All nice and clean, and as I mentioned earlier, free from any modifications whatsoever. So that brings us to the end of the video, guys. I hope you found that useful. If you would like any assistance on the M2, please feel free to get in touch. You can reach us at the garage on 01236 779,000, or you can drop us an email via the link in the description below. We're always happy to help with either a part exchange valuation, or if you have or if you'd like a finance quotation, we're more than happy to put one together for you. As I mentioned earlier, we won't buy any car.com, but we might just buy your car, and for a great price. I will put a link to the description below if you would like to sell your sports or prestige vehicle. We'd be more than happy to help. As you're looking at a BMW M2 video, I will put a link up here to another road test that I think might well be of interest. And also, if you'd like to consider subscribing to the channel, that would be great. That way you'll not miss any more stock updates or any more up and coming road tests. And I'll put a link to the button, I'll put a link down here so that you can subscribe. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.